Welcome to the Prepared for Nothing experience. Today, we are going to eat elk meat while smoking DMT in a float tank.
I don't understand the float tank reference. I got everything else. Does he have a thing for float tanks?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Obsessed.
I did not know that.
Has his own in his house.
Awesome.
Are you in, Junaid?
Well, Junaid is possibly...
Today we're going to eat elk meat.
We're going to hunt it?
Hello, everyone. This is Jay, and we started off a little bit shaky. That's because I had a little bit of lag here, but continue, Justin, please. After elk meat, I lost you.
Oh, we're going to eat elk meat while we're smoking DMT in a float tank.
Okay. And then are we going to talk about how everything works in the universe? Like, oh my God, like a car. Like, how do you get a car to, move, man? Like, energy and power from, the sky, goes in. Who does that? How do you think of that?
So you're telling me automatics don't need a clutch?
State.
I can just kind of
Hey, Jamie, Google that
push.
shit.
Hey, Google, Jamie.
Tell me how it
Hey, Jamie, Google that shit. Yeah, dude, and I'm
Jamie,
also,
Google this real
being
quick.
really ready.
What's an automatic?
I'm really ready for, to be a super chameleon, and it sucks because it's, going to be part of my stick as an interviewer from now on, where, I'm going to kind of just agree with what everyone says, and in, future episodes, everyone's going to be like, what the shit, you can't keep your shit straight, but you know what I mean,
You don't want to rock the boat.
Nah, dude, that's just being a good interviewer,
Yeah.
You just never have a real opinion. I'm down. What about you guys?
I don't know about the DMT, but I'm good for everything else.
Cool.
Elk meat ain't bad.
Cool.
I feel it'd be like bison.
Have you ever had elk meat, Junaid?
I don't know, is there a place that sells elk burgers or something here? I'm sure there is in Park City.
Yeah, there's gonna definitely be somewhere who sells elk burgers. Well,
Dude, elk is, not that good tasting.
you gotta cook it right.
You also have to kill it
Okay.
right.
I'm just saying that the elk that I've tried, and if you, just cook it like you cook steak, salt, pepper, and then cook it, and then it tastes weird, man.
Junaid, I need you to acknowledge that Joe Rogan says that if you eat elk meat, your podcast will be greater.
Do you think he actually eats, doe meat or cow meat? Or do you think he goes for, bull elk meat?
I don't know. I don't watch his shit anymore.
Okay. I always wondered that when people say they eat elk meat. It's do you think they know what type of meat? Because I can't imagine any person's going to recommend elk meat if they've eaten bull elk meat. And if they have, that person's a lost cause.
Well, if you soak it in buttermilk with the right rosemary and peppercorn spices, it gives it a great texture.
Yeah, like wet leather.
Oh, boy.
So I have something funny that happened to me the other day. Not really funny, but kind of put me in my place.
Oh, good. I will join them.
Yeah. So unfortunately, in Southeast Asia and the Middle East and Asia in general, there have been some high-profile violence against women cases, and there's just one in Pakistan of this family that's the 10th richest family in Pakistan. Basically, a guy murdered his lover, his ex-lover, something like that, and basically all of the caretakers and the security guards of the house knew about it, that he was torturing her, and they just went along with it. Like at one point, she ran away, went into like a security guard's hut, locked the door, and then the security guards like dragged her out and like gave him back to this psychopath. And then he basically ends up horrifically murdering her. And then the next day, he just like goes to books a flight to the U.S. Like, I'm leaving. And then they caught him basically at the airport. They're like, "What are you doing?" And as he's being arrested, he's like, "I'm a U.S. citizen. You can't take me. You can't take me." And then they take him. They arrest him, his mom and dad, and everybody in the house. They're like, because it became like a high profile case because like the woman was from like a influential family too, and there were all these witnesses, and the police were actually called that night by like the neighbors hearing the screams. So anyways, this happens. This is all like playing on the news. I'm at the bank, and then one of the like first when you walk into a bank in Pakistan, you like check in with the first desk lady, and then you go to the teller once all your information is checked out. So I'm over there. I'm just like trying to be like, oh my god, women's rights are so important. Like there's no rights here for women, and the men here have such like a toxic a viewpoint on femininity. And then the lady behind the desk is just like, yes sir, completely, it's so sad. And I'm like, yeah, did you hear about all the horrible things she did? She's like, no, I don't want to listen to it. I'm like, well, I'm for women's rights. I believe in the struggle. I tell this to my wife, and she's like, how dare you? You have no idea what it's like to be a woman here. You should not even say anything. You go to the bank, you just shut up, get your stuff done, and come out. Why do you need to go and like talk to other women? I'm like, okay. I was just trying to make conversation, make sure my shit went through. Like, let her know that I'm like for women. But my wife, like saw through that. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're using this horrible case just to get a viewpoint across and get savvy with another woman, just so that you can get your stuff done."
Sinead, I want you. And actually, no, I don't want you. I will tell her myself right now. You are my new favorite person on this earth. Sinead's wife.
Yeah, don't use your name.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said that. But
Okay.
you are my favorite because, Sinead is kind of a piece of shit. Right before we started this podcast, I was like, I feel like I was interrupting Junaid a little bit. We need to give him more mic time. And he starts off like 3 minutes into our podcast just telling this horrific death story like nothing just happened, and rolled off with it and was a dick.
Well, I wanna go back to it though, because he basically the interaction you had could just be boiled down as like, hello, working class woman.
Right.
I am one of the richer families in Pakistan, and I'd never do that. It's like, how do you open up with a conversation?
Can I tell you, I think Junaid has a unique skill at not being able to read the room.
Oh my god.
Does that mean to say, I love you, bro?
Well, the thing is, I do believe in women's rights, but I kind of used it just because I didn't want to like stand and wait at the bank for too long because it was taking forever in the first place.
Your plan was to
And it was
kiss
playing
ass
on
up
the
to the woman
news
so that way you
over
could
and
cut
over
in
again.
line in the bank.
Dude,
Yeah.
you are a piece of shit. I fucking love you, but wow.
Pakistan is a free-for-all country.
Jesus Christ, dude. You know what? That actually was a great story.
Anything flies.
I love that.
I enjoyed it.
I love what he tells us.
I don't even really remember much of the first part. Just
But the thing is,
his follow.
I
The
don't
bar
remember any
is
of the first
so
part
low
other
here.
than like.
Yeah,
hella-
no, I guess the bar is incredibly low there.
the bar is so low here, man. Like, you could
I'm glad you
It's
stooped down.
horrifically how low it is. No.
I'm glad you stooped down to that low bar, Junaid.
God.
I guess as long as you don't, open palm them across the face the second you see a woman, then you're doing pretty good in Pakistan standards, huh?
Jeebus.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't use obscene language, or if you don't insult or hit a woman, you're considered, oh, he's such a good man. You could interrupt them. You could like make your life a priority in front of them.
Is there a
Like
concept?
tell them,
Is there a concept of
go make me.
gaslighting?
Of what?
Does gaslighting, like, is an idea exist in Pakistan?
No. I think they all gaslight, so they don't even know.
That's what I was about to. That's what I was kind of.
Gaslighting is not a real thing. It's just something you've heard about and made up.
Yes, right. I forgot. My bad.
You know where the origin of that, like why it's called gaslighting, comes from?
No.
So the whole
This is great.
The whole situation is it's a man and a woman in a house, and every time the man like gets up to go do something, he always rekindles or like refills the gas and the light, and then sits down. And the wife never notices him do that, and so she starts asking, it's like, shouldn't the light have gone out? And he's like, no, light's supposed to go that long, and just kept telling her that, her fully unaware that he's going and refilling it. So that's where this concept of just lying and calling someone crazy is called gaslighting.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Junaid does to me, but...
I thought gaslighting was like stop and go. Like one day, like you're really, really nice and you do everything, and the next day you're like, oh my god, you don't do anything.
No,
oh my
that's
god, this and
bipolar.
that. You're being like,
Gaslighting,
oh, okay.
It's more essentially that, like, when somebody is calling you out for your bullshit, you use mental manipulation tactics to convince them that what they're saying is crazy and they're crazy for thinking it. And it creates this long-stowed doubt in their mind that doubts their own opinions and emotions, where they almost immediately start, like...
Yeah. I mean, you essentially, what you do is you lie to someone, and then you go the extra mile and tell that person that they're actually lying to you.
And they're crazy for even
in this
thinking
accusation.
that.
Yeah, that they're making stuff up.
Exactly. And then through that, and it's not just a single time, it's over years and years of that, the person who's the victim of that starts to really doubt, like, their sense of what happened because they're being told this false narrative all the time.
Yeah. So in this situation...
So that's what you do, Junaid. Kidding, bro. God, that was rude. Why am I even here? What am I doing? I should be fired. Good thing we don't have HR here.
Yeah, there's no HR. There never will be HR.
I'll be HR.
You'll be HR?
Yeah, dude, I'm HR for sure.
Bro, how do you report
dude, hopefully
HR
we won't
for
need
harassment?
HR, man.
Well, if you feel harassed while working at the Prepared for Nothing Enterprise experience, you can talk to me. I'll put my hat...
And he'll talk about it publicly on the podcast.
Yeah, and I'll put my hat down like this.
Yeah.
Really seriously. You know what I mean? Connor can see what I'm talking about.
I can see it. He's like just barely over his eyebrows.
Yes, and I will ponder a lot when you tell me. And if it's Junaid, I'll tell him he's a bitch, and anyone else, I'll listen. But that's how it goes.
If Junaid comes to you with harassment in regards to the show, tell him he's making it up and to stop bringing it up.
You don't know. You don't remember what happened, Junaid.
Maybe I don't.
Can we gaslight you? It's like a long-term podcast project.
No long. It's like Pavloving someone too. That's a big one.
Oh, dude. Okay.
All right. Well, I know you had some topics you wanted to cover.
Oh, I know. This is a weird transition here. Junaid, did you see the... Actually, no, I'm going to start this a different way here.
Okay.
Connor, my friend over here across from me,
Yes.
just, went behind my back, talking just here about, people working over here. And he just went and got this fantastic background that I fucking love and is awesome, that you guys may have noticed as the background of the last episode. Junaid, I don't know if you saw it through the episode or not. Did you check out the picture that I sent to you?
Oh yeah, it looks great. Who made that?
Ooh.
It's a little guy I know. I'll just call him NKS for the time being, because I don't know if he actually has any plugs to plug. But
We'll ask him, and if
Yeah.
there is and he wants one, it'll be somewhere.
I'll put it somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, we should give him some cred for sure.
But, yeah, he made that for me. He's a real good friend of mine from high school.
I want to talk about a couple things I fucking love about it. Go ahead, Junaid.
Where did you send it, Justin? I saw it. I just can't find it again.
Your DMs with me and you in Discord.
Yeah, so when we talk about it, the nice thing is for the people viewing this on YouTube is you can see it because it's going to be the background for this episode right now.
Yes. Junaid, I'll send it. Hold on to the other one. You'll see it one second.
As well as
I
the
found it.
background for the last episode, if
Yeah.
you've seen that one too.
A couple things I like about it is the obvious. It's got the prepared for nothing thing. I love that it's like a comedy stage.
Yeah.
Though, set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With
it's
the
like a
red
stand-up.
Red back. It's a total typical stand-up. Like, background. It's got the stage, the red curtain, the brick wall on the back. Biggest feature, my favorite, bottom left, the fucking unplugged-in microphone.
Yes.
With the outlet behind it, because, I don't know. I had to go out 3 times to get headphones. Twice, actually. No, only twice to get my headphones today. So, I'm never ready for that shit. And the paint cans, the little boarding up. I don't know, dude. I love it. It's going to be our new shit for a while, so get used to seeing it.
Yep. It's a lot better than what I threw together.
Dude, it's way better than the ones I've done, too.
Yeah.
Junaid, why didn't you make one, dude? Do you have no skills?
Actually, my wife's a bit of an artist. She could have also made it, but I never asked her to.
Yawning just like he's admitting to his lazy.
Yawning because he had to mention a woman's name and he's now tired of the subject.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Well, I love it. Thank you. It will be awesome. We will be seeing it a lot. Are you allowed to make like ambiguous threats on the internet? Do you know what I mean?
Here or Pakistan?
I'm gonna go with here because that's where I'm at.
Here it's my God-given right to.
Because it's
And I
kind of like
exercise it.
I'm not even getting into the details, but there's like a person who I don't know their name or pretty much anything about them.
Okay.
But I wanted to like say like fuck you, man. I'll fight you on the podcast, even though I don't know him
Yeah.
or who it is, so it's kind of indirect.
Yeah.
You allowed to say that? This is like on Minecraft too.
Yeah, no, you can. Even
Okay.
if it was off Minecraft, you can threaten someone vaguely on the internet,
How? What do you mean?
like directly too. You just DM them vague threats, and they can report you if they think it's an issue. But half the time, the police would look at it and be like, "Well, this person's in like a different state than you, and like we have no probable reason to think they're serious in this matter. So we're just gonna tell you no."
Huh? Okay. Okay.
Like, there are certain threats that you can't do, which I'm debating. But,
What do you mean?
I mean, there's a few,
Should I look this up? Should I do the
maybe.
science?
There's a few, like, I know the internet is one thing, but like over the phone is a different thing.
What about over the podcast?
I don't think that's a problem. I mean, it depends on like how you go about doing it.
I don't know if I want to Google search, can I threaten somebody on my podcast?
Yeah.
Ambiguously.
Because like I'm pretty sure you can say something along the line. Well, I guess it comes down to like how specific you are about the person. In which case, like, you could probably get more trouble just for doxing them than actually threatening them online.
Right. What if, like, I gave just one small detail?
You should be fine as long as they can't put 2 and 2 together.
Huh, okay. Well, if I only give one thing, there's no 2 and 2 to put together, right?
Right.
It's just, you can't put 1 and 1.
It also comes down to, like, how vague it is, too, because, like, if I say, you know, the person that drove in front of me today, well, at what point today?
Oh, that's good.
You know, like, as long as, like, it's known to me who it is. And if I told you in private earlier, it's most likely known to you. And I doubt this person would even be able to, like, connect the dots with themselves.
Right. What do you think, Junaid?
What are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Threatening people online.
Can I? Is it okay?
Oh, dude, don't do that. Dude, don't do that.
No,
Dude, do not threaten people online.
Well, that's
you missed
the
the
thing.
you missed the whole premise.
We're making it vague,
Very
so
incredibly
you can't
vague,
directly tie it to someone.
and it's also in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yes.
Okay. I don't think it's really a threat if it's vague.
Very, very vague.
You'd be like, oh, you better watch your toes. Something like that.
And even we're talking like the person.
You don't even fully
your
mention the
description
person's
is
name.
so incredibly vague. It's impossible to tie who it is that you're threatening. You know.
Oh, like, say, a guy who molested a bunch of gymnasts and promised them Olympic titles, but then gave them weird medical exams?
No, that's very, very specific.
Yes, but you can openly threaten them. They're in prison. What are they going to do?
Yes, we were more talking about Connor's specific example was the guy in front of me driving today. You know, that's so vague. Which guy? You know, there was lots of guys. It doesn't mean anything. That guy in front of me driving today, fuck you, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
You're still threatening a person.
Yeah, but can you legally do it on the internet?
So the reason you can legally do it is because, A, you can only get in trouble if you're reported for it, and which feeds into A, part 2, which is that how is this person going to connect the dots that we're talking about them to then report us? And then B is there has to be probable evidence outside of just our comment that would suggest that we would take foul action against the individual that reported us.
Connor, if we ever get into legal trouble one day, will you lie and pretend to be a lawyer for us and represent us?
I'd do it for myself, even.
Ah, yes.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, in Minecraft.
Yeah.
In Minecraft. Always.
Yeah.
Well, here it is, boys. I actually didn't really have a threat. I just was curious about it.
He's thinking of a threat and a person as we speak.
No. You made me think of one, like if I had to. But,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have intentions. I just kind of felt like pretending like it and seeing how you guys felt. I think we should be able to.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I do it regularly. Like every time I hop into a video game, I immediately just drop like.
Can we pick someone?
I guess we wanted to. Who'd we want to pick?
The third dude on the left.
Third dude on the left.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
I intend to do extreme bodily damage to this individual.
Wherever you're at, look up and look third guy to the left. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I better hope I never run into him.
Mm-hmm. He's an asshole.
Or it's on sight, on God.
And if there's no guy third right, it's you.
Yeah.
You're the guy.
If you don't know someone that's part of the Third Reich, it's you.
Oh my god. I just fell over. Do you guys have any? I know probably one answer, but anyone got some Nazi German family in their blood? Raise your hand. Oh, what a cool club, right? It's like adjacent, I think.
Still, my favorite joke is there's this photo online. It's like this girl that is like platinum blonde and like blue-eyed, super pale, and she's like, "How'd you know my grandparents are Argentinian?"
Argentinian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That almost sounded like Argentinian and like orangutan. Orangutan. Like Argentinian.
I don't know what you would call someone from Argentina.
Argentinian.
A Nazi.
Whoa,
Well, there were people there before them, okay?
Whoa. Jesus, Junaid.
It was a country before they fled Germany.
We're over here trying to have a nice, peaceful conversation. What? Calling people Nazis other than Germans in Nazi Germany?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. We'd never. There's different words for them now.
Converts.
Yes, Nazi converts. Because if you're not from Germany, you're not a real Nazi, so you're only a convert.
Most of the good ones did go to Argentina if they didn't come to the U.S., right?
Yeah, if they didn't get, like, either immediately killed, they went to Argentina, or they got drafted into the space program for the U.S.
Operation Paperclip. You know, 'cause I'm super educated here. Says that
The Jerry's got us to the moon.
fuck, there's so many words in this article, dude. I was really hoping there'd be like
No,
a nice, easy
There's no easy way
graph
to look at it.
or like fucking something nice, but it's just
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at
10,000
like some of the people that worked on warheads and the space program. All of those, a lot of those people were basically the top scientists of Germany at the time that were just brought over and was like, you know what? This is just going to be your equivalent of a prison sentence. You're going to die on paper, and then you will just live out the rest of your days in some lab in New Mexico, working for the U.S. government.
that's very cool.
Kind of.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I didn't know what to say. Okay, guys, I got awkward. All right.
Yeah.
That shit's wild.
I mean, it's weird stuff, too, because it's like...
Ooh, here's a map.
Yeah.
Oh. A lot of them just stayed in Europe, it looks like.
Really?
Wait, I found a map. Where's the map? Oh, it doesn't go far.
Well, probably the ones
yeah.
that stayed in Europe got hit in the Nuremberg trials. What you got? No, turn it the other way. Turn it the other way. You're twisting your cord. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You see, and so there's like a lot in Europe,
they just like...
and then a lot to the U.S., and then
Yeah.
a few down to South America.
Well, a lot of them also went to what looks like Russia.
Yeah, dude. Somewhere out there, but it doesn't show the whole map.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the two big lines, the U.S. and the U.K.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And it looks like almost some to Saudi Arabia. Wow. This is a really interesting topic, guys. I'm glad we're talking about it today. Oh, here's a nice transition.
Yeah, let's transition.
Before this is me doing a transition, like how you do in comedy, right?
Okay.
So now we'll go from that to, have you guys seen Hitler videos at the Olympics when he's all methed out?
Yeah.
He's just like tweaking.
Yeah.
Sick. What do you guys think of the Olympics?
that's how we transition.
Transition.
Well, I mean, if we want to stay on subject.
I didn't like the Olympics, but then some really amazing stuff happened.
Dude, I won't lie. I talk shit on a whole podcast and like 3 whole days at work. And we're watching gymnastics the other day, and I had to just like I could not stop.
You swap channels again.
God, I'm even better. I could
Now
not
you're back.
stop. I could not stop watching the gymnastics.
Yeah.
Because fucking watching, like, being realistic about how fucking crazy all these people are, even like not the best ones, are just like doing some crazy shit, and I'm just sitting there in awe.
Which I know the big one is that, at least one of the big ones I've seen. Maybe there was 2, I guess, major records set, and one was that women's fencing, the U.S. I think got the first ever gold in fencing.
First ever gold for you women's?
Yeah, and then what was it? In the women's weightlift competition, the woman that I think she broke the women's record and got the first gold for the Philippines.
Yeah, dude, that was tight.
Yeah.
That was real tight.
And then I think during the ping pong section of it, the woman for New Zealand is like a 72-year-old woman, and making it her like 7th consecutive Olympic she's participated in, which I think was like its own record in itself.
Okay, hold on, real quick. Let's look up some of these and give these people their like due respect here.
Yeah.
I'm looking up their names. Well, okay, so keep going though.
That's the only 3 things I can remember.
A 72-year-old ping pong champion?
Yeah. Well, I think she got bronze, but it was like her 7th consecutive participation in the Olympics, which was like a record.
7.
Yeah, which was like a record for New Zealand or something like that.
So Olympics are every 4 years.
Well,
That's 7 times 4.
if you think about it, they're more like every 2 years.
No, but like the ones you participated in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I guess ping pong is Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
only,
it's only
right?
summer.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, is it 4
30
times
years
7?
almost.
28.
28.
You guys suck at math, dude. I'm trying to like Google and you guys can't even do that shit.
It's 28.
I know it's 28,
years.
but I'm like, it's almost 30 years.
So that means
Basically, like,
her first Olympic, if she's 72. Well, no, because you have to count for like 1 more year.
was in 92.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, have you guys heard about the shit that's going on with Simone Biles? I don't know if I know.
Yeah. I read about that.
Okay,
this
well, you
morning.
tell me what you got, and then I will give some what I got, and we'll inform Connor in debate.
Basically, she was let go of the U.S. Olympic team, citing that she was uncomfortable with performing, and she had some broken toes, and her body had taken a lot of beating. So basically, on health grounds, and also like the mental burden of performing in the Olympics, and this whole Tokyo 2020 Olympic thing, like a bunch of the athletes like trained for Tokyo 2020 in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 2021, and their bodies are kind of like in recovery still, and they couldn't really handle it. And she led the U.S. gymnastics team, women's gymnastics team for so long. So that's basically what I got.
That's mostly not true.
The only thing I heard was that she was incredibly stressed being in the Olympics.
Hold on, I want to double check on one thing before I get going to make sure there's been no update on it.
Yeah.
She was not dismissed from the Olympic team, first off. I'm pretty sure she only withdrew from the team competition, not from the individuals.
Okay.
There is no injury last I heard. And that... Go ahead.
I thought it said that she had some broken toes.
Yeah. I think she's still competing in the individuals, though.
Unless she already competed, though.
Are they done?
I'm pretty sure she's already competed.
Okay, because what I've heard is the more kind of underground reason is essentially she's doing some tricks that nobody else can do, like way above and beyond.
Okay.
Everyone else is getting 8.2s. She should be getting like 9.7s.
Okay.
But the Olympic Committee's scared that these other gymnastic people would be going for this tricks and they can't make them. So a lot of people were getting hurt this last year because they were going for these tricks that only Simone Biles can land, trying to be able to beat her.
Right.
So in recent competitions, her scores have been like tanking. And there's some conspiracy that the Olympic Committee is squashing her scores. So while she'll do like a whole nother flip and a whole nother rotation on the equivalent trick of somebody else, she'll get scored like an 8.6 and they'll get an 8.4. And it's to discourage these other athletes from going for these insane things that she's going for because they don't want. So they're like sequestering her scores. And it's been happening so far all Olympics. And it kind of sounds like it's been fucking with her. And she's really unhappy with it. So she said, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I would be too.
I heard it had nothing to do with an injury. She said, I think a lot about how she could fight through the injury. And that's how they needed to kind of spin it in some press shit. But I think she's really upset with how they are downplaying her scores, dude. I saw some videos of how high she is flying on the fucking floor routines, dude. And it is like 6 feet higher than everybody else.
Damn.
And they're just giving her bullshit scores, and I think she's
it's almost like she's a better performer, and they're afraid that other people won't be able to perform as good as her?
No, she's still also going through with the individual.
I know, but that's... No, I get that, but that's essentially, it's like they're afraid that the competition will hurt themselves because they can't perform as good as her, but they're going to try anyway.
Oh, now they're afraid? Oh, now they're afraid the competition will hurt themselves. Like, now?
Yeah.
Like, what about all the decades before?
Yeah.
Where basically there's all these sexual assault allegations. They're basically starting at the age of, like,
We
4
don't
doing
need to get caught up on Larry
putting their whole
we don't
life,
need to get caught up on
putting
him.
their whole life on the line and, like, putting their bodies through hell. And then now it's just like, oh, this Simone Biles is so much better than everybody else. We don't want any of our other competitors to try and advance Olympics just because we don't want them to get hurt. We're worried about their injuries because of the PR. If an Olympian gets like a life-threatening injury, it'll look bad for the Olympics.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So
God, what a bunch of like
cucks.
business-minded cunts.
At the same time, they should just accept it and like.
Should just give her a fat score. It would literally be like if Usain Bolt ran fucking 100 meter 0.5 seconds quicker than someone else, but they just gave him like a negative 4.4 handicap because he's that quick.
Well, it's more like trying to prevent Phelps because he has a bigger wingspan and like the double jointed shit. I mean, it's just
way
like
better.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, he has a biological advantage over people, but he also did train so he could exploit his biological advantage, and it almost sounds like that makes him the better athlete.
This girl flies, dude, and they're not giving her some shit, so. Yeah, she pulled out of the artistic gymnastic women's team final due to medical reasons, they cited. But, I mean, I know that's what they said. She did hurt her foot a little bit, but, like, I think because it's a combo of both. I'm not trying to say one's true and one's not. I think it's when she's looking at, like, my foot's a little hurt, and they're jacking my scores. I should just go out and let my team. Like, what if I go out there and get hurt doing this team event, which I have to compete in all the events one more time, essentially. Doubles up how much times you have to do each, like, apparatus.
Right.
So she's doubling her chance of getting hurt, or she can just go out there and stomp all these solos. And cutting how many reps she has to do in half for only one less medal.
Yeah.
Can still go out and get 4 potentially, so.
Who
knows?
Did you guys see about the RCO?
What about them?
The ROC.
Yeah.
The Russian Olympics Committee.
Yeah.
There's been a few people that have suggested that they still want to do a drug screening on them.
Again, like a million times?
Yeah, because they are still pulling golds, and basically anyone from Russia is allowed to compete on it. The ROC team.
Right.
So it's like, how do you know that Russia isn't still funding to dope these people?
They probably are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually beat the U.S. Olympic team last night in the team competition. I wonder also they were beating them by pretty good. Simone Biles knew she was going to go out and do some crazy shit and get a bullshit-ass whack score, risk getting hurt. It's all some bullshit. Now I'm all super interested in this. They got skateboarding in this year. That's been fucking cool as shit to watch.
Yeah. I saw a pretty funny thing that people are just like, how did the U.S. only get bronze in skateboarding? And it's just like, well, that's what happens when you send the only skateboarder in the U.S. that can pass a drug test.
God, all the U.S. skiers somehow do it, which is fucking unreal.
Yeah.
The Olympic ones. A bunch of them didn't qualify. There's a lot of international really good skaters. It's really blown up outside of the U.S. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was talking to my pops about this today, actually, because lacrosse just got introduced as a U.S. sport.
Interesting.
And I think this is a topic maybe I can ramble for a second about, is that, like, a lot of people are thinking that only the U.S. and Canada are going to be good at international lacrosse, because so far that's all it's ever been, especially, like, when it comes to, like, the lacrosse World Cups and whatnot. It's pretty much always the final is those two teams. Most of the time, the U.S. wins. Sometimes Canada wins when they had some really good players.
It's like the same for hockey a lot of times.
Exactly.
Except you throw in, like, Russia, too.
Exactly. And a lot of people, and I was saying this at first, that, like, it's just going to be dominated by those two. However, people said that about USA basketball a lot, like, during the 90s, during the Dream Team. They're like, no one's ever going to beat the U.S. And the U.S. has lost 5 of their last 8 international games. They're kind of getting bitch slapped around out there.
It's because people are getting
fucking better. International basketball is growing, so I think with a sport like lacrosse, I think that same thing might happen. Like, as it grows internationally through something like the Olympic Games, all these other countries will get interest in it, and you'll find these like niche guys that come out, and you can get a squad that might come out and take these.
Yeah, because I think baseball was like one that we have seen has gone through the ringer. Like, initially it came out and it's like, okay, only the U.S. will be good at baseball. It's like, well, guess what? Japan and like all of South America love baseball now.
And now they're way better.
Yeah, and now we're fucking drafting people from those areas.
Dominicans and Japanese and South Korean baseball players are so fucking hot right now in the market. Did you hear what Stephen A. Smith said? Sounding like kind of a dumbass. He's ESPN's one of their biggest anchors. And I don't think what he said was necessarily wrong, but I don't know if he needed to say it or if he could have said it better. But essentially, the best player in baseball right now, I want to make sure I don't pronounce his name wrong after going through all of this.
Yeah, I haven't really followed baseball in a while.
What's his fucking name? Oh, Shohei Ohtani. Fantastic player, but he doesn't speak any English, and he has a translator with him a lot of times, and the interviews don't go that great.
Yeah.
And all Stephen A. Smith said in one interview was like, maybe it's not that great for baseball, which is he didn't say which is a traditionally American sport, but what he said is it's not that great for baseball to have the best player be somebody who doesn't speak English. What he meant by that is, like, baseball's full of old racists.
Yeah.
Right now, like, their numbers are declining because they're, like, kind of getting grumpy. And he didn't mean it, and, like, these people shouldn't be playing. I think he was a dumbass for saying it.
Who was the Japanese guy that the Yankees had for the longest time?
Oh, gosh.
He was, like, phenomenal, too.
Watanabe?
I love how out of touch we are. Dude, I feel like I'm making some crazy Google searches right now.
Yeah.
Not Ichiro.
No. I feel like it was like Matsu or something like that.
God, dude, we're looking bad right now. This is good. This is good. Matsui?
Maybe?
Dude. Oh my god.
I think he was a pitcher, wasn't he?
I'm spinning. I'm just literally Google searching Yankees Japanese pitcher at this point. God, dude. I'm horrid.
I think it was Ichiro Suzuki. Or Hiroki Kuroda. Ryota Igarashi. Well, like, reading all these names makes me want to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I call it Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Hideki Matsui?
Yes. Hideki Matsui.
Oh, bro. Bro, that was rough.
I
Think if anyone's stuck through that part of the podcast, holy shit, I salute you.
Well, I played with Japanese people on baseball teams that idolized him, and I couldn't even remember his name.
Dude, that was rough right there. I don't even know how to transition. How do we transition now? I'm practicing, you guys. That's why I'm pointing them out, so you can know. So it makes it smooth when it happens.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like adding foreigners to baseball is not a new concept. And they have done nothing but like outperformed in baseball. So I don't understand why there's so many like old racist people in baseball still. I thought that generation would have been bred out by this point.
What about Larry Bird? Babe Ruth.
Dude, but like the thing about this racism, it's like it passes on from generation to generation.
Yeah, but it's like the generation it should have passed on to was from the people that started to integrate and just gone more and more.
Oh my god, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, those are the people with heads on, but the people that actually follow baseball and like care about all their stats, it's like generational, you know? They like remember all this sort of stuff, and it's just like so influenced. And then instead of having white people on their baseball cards, they're having Dominicans and Japanese people, and they're like, well, I don't want that.
Damn, he plays a good ball. Too bad he ain't white. What you got?
Found some stats. I'm just reading through real quick. Apparently, we're overplaying. I've been Google searching here some pretty crazy things because I don't know how to find it. Like just like Japanese Yankees player and
Yeah.
things like that. And they've all been popping up with like every single time like list of best Japanese Yankees players. You know what I mean? And all these things. And I searched. All I searched was white baseball players, just so I could like jokingly name some in that last little bit I was doing.
Yeah.
And it literally is not pulling up any lists of white players. And it's like Tyler White, the baseball player. And it's like lists of dudes with white in their name. And then one article written in 2019 that baseball is still as white as ever.
Yeah.
And showing that it definitely, has some minority to it compared to a lot of other sports, it still has lots of white dudes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Chewing that dip, bruh. What's your favorite Olympic sport you're ready for? We'll close it out there. Not done, but Olympic thoughts. What's yours?
I can't remember. Is bowling in the Summer Olympics?
I don't know. Should I look that up?
I don't know.
Olympic.
There's certain sports like bowling and ping pong. I don't think really should matter what time of year it is. You could do it. It's all indoors anyway. Like
Dude, it did make it this year.
bowling did.
Oh, damn. It got cut last minute.
Bowling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Bowling and squash and wushu were all cut.
Huh. Why cut sports?
Because they don't like that shit.
Yeah. You know, I actually remember them talking about, too, possibly adding, like, video games to the Olympics.
Oh.
Which,
How about this?
what?
However, in September 20... Okay, so... June 2015, it was announced that bowling made the cut from the 28 sports to lead the 8 to become a new sport for the 2020 Olympics. However, in September 2015, it was announced that bowling, together with wushu and squash, were left out for 2020. The 2020 Olympic Committee wanted sports that appeal to youth and would not require building new facilities to reduce costs.
I feel like more
Cheap
young
and no
people
kids
play.
like bowling.
I feel like young people bowl
Yeah,
more
it's
than
all
they
a
play ping
business,
pong.
dude. It's all a business. They're like, how do we get young people into sports and to watch this and
They
watch
weren't
all of our
trying to build
commercials?
bowling lanes for like an hour. They were like, fuck that shit, dude.
You don't even have to. You can make one lane and have people get in line.
Yeah. I wonder if at COVID time
Well-
they were like worried about like touching. You have your own balls.
You have your own
This makes no
ball,
fucking
yeah.
sense. Bring back bowling, yo.
Because it's like, okay, what do they have now? What young person, like the average young person can bowl, but the average young person can't do gymnastics.
Yeah, that's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
You put some bumpers up and it's just like take this ball, fucking lob it that way.
Right.
Kid.
Like, bowling's a date idea for people, not gymnastics.
Do you know how much harder it is to do a round off than to bowl a ball?
I don't even know what a
Hey,
round
one
off
second.
is.
I'll be right back.
Like a cartwheel.
Oh, dude, I can't do a cartwheel, but I can bowl.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I can bowl great, but I can still bowl.
While Janae's gone, I'll tell you this. You just reminded me. On my first date with the now love of my life, the bowling alley in the little town we met did not pay to wax anything other than the actual lane pass where the little line is that you can't cross.
Okay.
They didn't wax the run-up at all.
Oh.
So I'm used to these like completely waxed floors, so you can do that little slide move as you spin, all steez, and I've grown up my whole life doing that. I'd never been to this place. Take her on our first like real date to this bowling alley, and first bowl I go down, go to bowl, ball gets stuck on my thumb pretty much because it's too small, and my feet stick. And like a comedy, I go like hand stuck in ball face first down the lane.
Oh my god.
And just had to get up and like pretty much pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm back.
Welcome
You
back.
would be. Yeah.
So my neighbors are hoarders.
Neat.
So they're basically like their front and their back lawn is just filled with like shit furniture,
Okay.
Nice.
and then they like throw away their garbage like in front of their house. But like their garbage receptacle is like right next to our house, and it's like drilled into the wall.
Okay.
It's not like in the U.S. where like you have like bins that you take out to the curb and stuff.
Right.
It's like the receptacle is drilled into the wall, and they basically just filled it up with a bunch of like broken particle board and like have all this other garbage just hanging out like next to our wall. And I'm like, dude, it looks so obscene. And they're leasing. They don't own the home, but it's just like, goddamn. Like,
Leasing hoarders are like the best. Because it's just like, if you
are they the best?
Yeah, because if you evict them, how the fuck could you properly evict them? Like, a good hoarder has enough stuff is that you could not evict them in a month. It's almost like it's part of their game. Of just like, if I put enough garbage here, either you kick me out and it's your problem now, or you have to let me stay here for like another month to collect the rest of my shit.
Yeah, or pay somebody else to come take it all out.
Right. It's like it is a lose-lose for the landlord. Like, honestly, if you're a landlord and you start to notice like hoarding tendencies in any of your tenants, you should probably look at like possibly evicting them. Otherwise,
Right away.
you're gonna be stuck with a hefty bill down the line.
Dude, I just did some research there for a second ago.
Okay.
Because I'm a little mad. Okay, because I'm going back to bowling getting kicked out of the Olympics. All right?
Okay.
Because they said it does not appeal to the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I did some really hard research.
Yeah.
Okay? Dug into the databases, went to Google and searched, what sports do kids like?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, if that's the Olympic Committee's standard, is some shit that appeals to kids. Why isn't there Olympic kickball? That's number one.
Kickball.
Kickball's the shit. Kids love kickball.
Mm-hmm.
Kickball would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Outdoor American football in the U.S. is popular among kids. Why is that in the Olympics?
Well, I can tell you why that's not in the Olympics.
Softball is. Dodgeball. Why isn't there Olympic dodgeball, dude?
Dodgeball would be so cool in the
So
Olympics.
tight.
Seeing like Russian bears just chuck balls at
Oh, dude.
tiny Japanese men.
Imagine the movie Dodgeball, but actually happening in the Olympics.
Yeah. That'd be so good.
And then soccer, boo. But those other three, man, they want to appeal to kids. You got to get those fucking in there. Especially kickball and dodgeball.
Dodgeball, I'm 100% for.
They got no sport that involves a round rubber ball that you can either kick the shit out of or hurts as fuck to get hit in the face with.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly what you're talking, because I was thinking it's like they can use the same ball.
Yeah.
But it's like a part of me too wonders if they would run into like issues of rules. Because it's like, what are the proper rules of dodgeball?
You get hit and don't catch it, you're out.
Right, but then it's like, if you catch it, is the other person out or are you just safe?
You're always out if they catch it.
Okay. And then the other thing, how many balls can be out at a time?
These are all simple things they can make in the rules.
There's simple things they can make, but it's like, what happens when they change it and everyone's been training with 2 balls and now there's 3 balls
Well,
in play?
they can maybe do different. Dude, maybe they could do like 2-person, 2-ball,
That'd be
4-ball, 8-ball, like
One-on-one.
courts, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. Make it multiple like events. You know,
Yeah. And then like the other thing too is like, you know, because
there'd be strategy if there was
Yeah.
multiple.
there'd be lots of strategy.
You could have like blockers
Yeah.
standing in front of one person who just like jumps up and like.
I think it would be good if they had like a time limit so that not only forces them to throw, but then also they can't run down the clock.
Right, dude.
Shit like that.
Bro, I think we need to get this like. What about rock skipping?
I feel like I can go either way because that
That one dudded right
that depends too much on the rock.
there. That one dudded.
Is fishing an Olympic sport?
No.
Because again, that
Fishing
that
should
has
be an
too much
Olympic
luck
sport.
to it. Like the fishing competitions that already exist kind of baffle me because it's like how you can't control the fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how do you control who catches the biggest fish?
Dude, what do we got here? I'm getting. Dude, there used to be roller hockey in the Olympics.
That makes sense.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
There was ballooning.
But
How much drugs you can put in a balloon in your butt?
I was gonna say it's like racing them or what?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Hot
just
air
like
balloon.
who can go the highest in a hot air balloon?
1 year that happened. I don't know even how to say that one, so I'm not gonna try.
Okay.
Water motorsports. What does that even mean?
I think it's like jet ski racing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just boat races.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We always have to have one in here. I'm glad. We
Yeah,
got
he
one.
snuck it in the last
I'm
minute.
glad
and
you
just
snuck
lagging
in
out.
a good fucking lag here in the last minute, bro. You're my hero. Finish baseball. Damn.
Finnish baseball?
Yeah, dude.
It's evidently different than U.S. baseball.
Apparently.
I'm just glad they don't have, like, cricket. That's a stupid sport to watch.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty much baseball without a pitcher. You throw the ball up to yourself. Just try and hit it.
Oh, so like the tee off?
Yeah, dude. It's pretty lame.
It's just T-ball.
Tug of war?
That would have been cool. Because, like, there's actual elements to it. Because that's the thing. It's like some stuff, it's like, I can understand how there's not much of an athletic appeal to bowling. But
Tug of war?
Tug of war is nothing but
It's literally just like your 4 strongest Poland dudes
well, see,
versus
then,
our 4 strong. And I know there's strategy and all that, but
and
it's a
I think
very
that's the
basic
problem. Because, like,
competition.
you could have a really strong person or just a really heavy person.
You need a combo of both, though.
Yeah. I think he DC'd, but that's okay because we're at an hour, so let's
just disconnect and he doesn't get to say goodbye to everyone because he usually likes to say goodbye.
He does, and he always says it right when I hit stop, so I don't think it ever gets through.
Well, this is Janaid signing out from the podcast.